Okay. I'm Sho Shigioka. I serve as the Administrator for Equity and Inclusion in the Beaverton School District. So Beaverton is one of the largest school districts in the state of Oregon. We have close to 40,000 students, and we are finally minority majority, I'm going to put in quote, school district, meaning that students of color makes up the majority, 51% of our student population, which is a huge shift even from, say, 10, 15 years ago. Beaverton used to be a very predominantly white, affluent school district, and we have about close to 40% of our students qualify for free and reduced lunch. So our student population is definitely shifting, and we're a lot more diverse in terms of race, language, religion, all of that. So for school leaders to be able to foster an equitable school culture means that we as leaders have the capacity, the intellectual capacity, the emotional capacity, and just this more of an interpersonal capacity to be able to really intentionally make sure that schools are being really inclusive, affirming, and empowering of all students. And all students, meaning, and explicitly naming the difference in terms of race, sexual orientation, gender, disability, language, class, because we as leaders, we need to be able to really understand the dynamics that come with power and privilege and how they really play out in our school culture. So as leaders, we must have the knowledge and skills to be able to really navigate the issues around power and privilege, and again, make intentional decisions so that those who have historically felt not welcomed or not part of, not feeling really belonging to the school community feel, again, empowered as well as everybody else in the school community. For me, a school is being truly inclusive when principals, assistant principals, and most importantly, classroom teachers are really head-on addressing issues around power and privilege. That's really relevant to what's really happening in current climate. So like, for example, what just happened in Kentucky, really talking about religion and equality, freedom of speech. That's a real issue, right? And do teachers have the capacity to be able to really facilitate a dialogue where students can really talk about those social issues related to race and sexual orientation, but in ways that highly engage students, directly tied to what they're learning in their content. And with that comes our responsibility as leaders to be able to really support teachers to be able to, again, have that kind of a dialogue in the classroom. So again, that's to me is an intellectual sign of a school being really inclusive. So having lead tools, again, that are directly aligned to standards that we use in the state of Oregon around, do you have a clear vision? Are you serving as instructional leaders? Do you have an inclusive school climate? How do you engage with the parents and communities? Those are all important leadership practices that we need to be thinking about, but what makes lead tool different is that it layers those standards with the lens of equity, right? So it explicitly asks questions related to, again, students who have been historically marginalized and underrepresented.